When my 17-year-old daughter, Lily, was excluded from my sister's wedding, I didn't argue, I didn't ask for special permission or try to convince anyone otherwise. I simply said, we won't be going, and that was the end of it. My name is Charlotte Miller. I'm 39 years old, a nurse practitioner living in Vermont, and I've been Lily's mother since she was 3. She entered my life with large, quiet eyes that seemed to take in everything around her. At first, she barely spoke. She mostly observed as if she were still deciding whether the world was safe. The first time she ever called me mom, I cried alone in my car after dropping her off at preschool. That moment meant more to me than I can explain. From the very beginning, I promised her one thing: she would never feel unwanted in my family again. I believed I was keeping that promise until the wedding. My younger sister Brittany got engaged last spring. There was a dramatic announcement, an oversized ring, and an Instagram caption that sounded like it came straight from a bridal magazine. Of course, I congratulated her. Lily even made her a handmade card with paper bells and glitter, putting so much effort into it that it made my chest ache. Brittany smiled when she received it, said it was sweet, and then tossed it into the backseat of her car. Weeks later, I found it there, half crushed beneath a fast food wrapper, but Lily stayed excited. She spent hours looking at dresses online, asking if she should wear her hair up or down, wondering if she might help decorate. I could see it in her. She was hopeful, nervous, yes, but hopeful. Then the invitation arrived. It was one of those thick, glossy envelopes with gold edging. I opened it at the kitchen counter while Lily worked on homework at the table. It listed the usual information: date, time, dress code. Then my eyes stopped on the sentence that changed everything: adults only, 18 and over, strictly enforced. No exceptions. I read it twice. Lily must have noticed my expression change because she looked up from her notebook and asked quietly, "She doesn't want me there." I answered, "It's an 18 and over wedding." My voice sounded steady, but my hands were shaking. She was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, "Is it because I'm adopted?" That question broke something deep inside me. She didn't say it angrily or tearfully, just felt exhausted, like something she'd suspected for a long time. I said, "No, absolutely not," but I knew exactly what she meant. This wasn't the first time Lily had been made to feel like she didn't belong. It was never loud or cruel. It was subtle, quiet, persistent. It showed up when my mother referred to her as Charlotte's girl instead of using her name. When Brittany said, "Your daughter, like Lily," was a neighbor's kid tagging along instead of her niece. I kept telling myself it wasn't intentional, that maybe they just needed time, that if I explained enough, smiled enough, stayed patient enough, they'd eventually accept her. But the moments kept adding up, like the family dinner where Lily offered to help in the kitchen, and no one acknowledged her, not a single word. She stood by the sink holding a plate of vegetables, unsure what to do. Or Easter at my parents' house where every grandchild received a basket with their name on it except Lily's. Her simply read "Happy Spring" in generic lettering. She didn't complain. She just smiled politely the way she always did. The first time I saw real disappointment on her face was when she gave my mother a drawing of our family. Me, Lily, and my husband Eric. It was bright, colorful, filled with heart. My mom said thank you, set it on the table, and never mentioned it again. Later, Lily asked why it wasn't on the fridge like her cousin's artwork. I had no answer. I wanted to believe they didn't realize what they were doing, but over time, I understood that wasn't true. When Lily was 6 and told my father she wanted to be an artist, he laughed and told her she'd need something more practical. When she was 8 and wanted to help plan a family event, Brittany told her, "That's cute, but let the adults handle it." It was never aggressive, never loud, just dismissive, constant, always enough to make Lily hesitate. I thought I could fix it by showing up, by inviting them to her birthdays, her school plays, her milestones, but the more we showed up, the clearer it became. They never fully accepted that Lily was permanent, part of them. I think, believed I'd eventually have a biological child, that Lily was temporary, a noble gesture they could admire from afar, something they'd someday say, "Remember when Charlotte fostered that sweet little girl?" They never said it out loud. They didn't need to. The wedding invitation confirmed it. It wasn't formality, it was a boundary, a message. She isn't really one of us. I didn't respond to the invitation. I didn't call Brittany or argue. I went online and clicked not at ending. No explanation, just a no. The next day, Brittany texted, "Hey, just saw your RSVP. Is everything okay?" Then another message, "If this is about the age rule, I hope you understand. We're being consistent with everyone. Nothing personal, nothing personal except it was. Lily wasn't a distant cousin or someone's plus one. She was Brittany's niece, my daughter. She was 17, not 7. She had made a card, picked out a dress, asked about hairstyles. She wanted to belong, and all of that was dismissed as a technicality." I didn't reply. A few hours later, my sister Melissa messaged. "Tessa said, you're not coming. What's going on?" Then my mother called. She never calls unless something's wrong. "Charlotte," she said, "I heard you're not going to the wedding. Is this really about the age limit?" I replied, "Lily wasn't invited. I'm not going without her. She's almost 18, my mom said. There was a pause. Then she added, "It's not like she's a little kid. She's family." I waited. Nothing else followed. No apology. No acknowledgement of Lily's feelings. "Don't punish your sister over this," she said. "It's just one night. I'm not going," I replied, and I hung up. Then the group chat exploded. "Melissa, I can't believe you're making such a big deal out of one rule. You always cause drama." "Brittany, this isn't about Lily. You're making it about her." My mom followed with a long message about forgiveness, unity, and how hard it was to be caught in the middle. Meanwhile, Lily quietly deleted the dress photos from her phone. She didn't cry. She simply erased them like she'd expected this outcome all along. That hurt more than the wedding itself. She wasn't surprised. Time passed. The wedding happened. No one apologized. No one mentioned it again. They acted like everything should return to normal. Then December came. Every year I hosted Christmas. I cooked, cleaned, bought extra chairs, pulled the table leaf from the garage, even when I was exhausted, even when I didn't feel like celebrating. This year, I did none of it. No invitations, no group chat, no planning. When Eric asked if he should order extra chairs, I said no. Extra seats this year. He didn't question it. Lily didn't either. By mid-December, messages started rolling in. "Are we still doing Christmas Eve at your place?" Then Brittany, "Of course, we'll be 5 again. Let me know if Lily wants anything special this year, if she's even coming this time." That line nearly broke me. If she's even coming this time, as if Lily had chosen to stay away, as if her absence were teenage drama instead of deliberate exclusion. I didn't reply, I didn't claim, I didn't decorate, I didn't pretend. When they didn't hear back, they started calling. I let them all in. Eventually, my dad left a voicemail. "Your mother's upset. It's not too late to do the right thing, the right thing." As if hosting dinner would erase everything. So, we didn't host Christmas. We made lasagna in pajamas. Lily baked misshapen sugar cookies. We watched movies, opened gifts early. No walking on eggshells, no translating passive-aggressive comments, no silence. When Lily entered the room, it was peaceful, whole, and I realized something important. I had confused tradition with love, obligation with connection. I thought hosting meant belonging, but peace isn't quite because nothing's wrong. It's quite because nothing is being ignored. A few days later, Lily was sketching on the couch when she asked if I wasn't adopted. "Do you think they'd like me more?" I sat beside her. "They might have hidden it better," I said, "but the way they treat people who are different, that was never about you." She looked at me with calm certainty. "I don't think I want them to like me anymore," she said, and that was when I stopped waiting for an apology. A few days later, my father texted, "Your mother isn't sleeping. She feels like she's lost you. We know we messed up, but shutting everyone out isn't who you are." I stared at the message for a long time. "That's not who you are." For a while, I used to wonder the same. I used to question whether I was being too harsh, too sensitive, too cold, but I think this is who I am. I'm someone who finally understands what she will and won't tolerate. I'm someone who knows that keeping peace at the expense of her child's dignity isn't love, it's fear dressed up as loyalty, and I'm done being afraid. Then came the final blow. It was a voice message from Brittany, one of those carefully measured recordings where every sentence was wrapped in sugar but carried a blade underneath. I just think it's sad. Charlotte, you always made such a big deal about how much you love Lily, but now it feels like you're using her as a shield. Like, anytime someone doesn't treat her like royalty, you cut them out. That's not healthy, that's not parenting, that's obsession. I didn't listen to the rest. I deleted the message and blocked her number because if loving Lily fiercely completely without apology is considered an obsession, then so be it. Yes, I am obsessed. I am obsessed with showing my daughter that she deserves to be included, that she never has to earn love by being quiet or polite or easy to ignore, that she should never mistake tolerance for acceptance. I'm obsessed with protecting the one person who needed me the most, the one who never got the benefit of the doubt, the one who had to prove she belonged in a family that claimed to love her but never showed her how. And no, I don't regret it. I regret the years I stayed silent, the holidays I invited people who treated her like guests in her own home, the birthdays where she smiled while others barely looked at her, the thank you she said to people who didn't bother learning her favorite color, her hobbies, her laugh. I regret every time I tried to keep the peace instead of standing up for her, but not anymore. Lily doesn't ask for much, she never has, but what she needs, what she's always needed is a mother who chooses her every time, and that's exactly who I am. I'm not the keeper of family traditions, I'm not the peace negotiator, the event planner, the one who smooths things over so no one feels uncomfortable. I'm Lily's mom, and if that means closing the door on people who can't see her worth, then I will close it gently, quietly, but for good. Because this isn't about revenge, it's about love, love that doesn't shrink, love that doesn't apologize for existing, love that's as you matter, and I will never let anyone make you feel otherwise. The new year came quietly, no countdown, no noise, just the three of us, me, Eric, and Lily, sitting around the fireplace playing a board game she got for Christmas, laughing at how bad we all were at it, and in that quiet, I finally felt something I hadn't felt in years, relief. I wasn't waiting anymore, not for the next text, the next gig, the next awkward dinner. I wasn't planning how to balance the feelings of people who had made my daughter feel invisible. I was simply living with my family, my real family. Looking back, there were so many moments when I could have spoken up louder sooner, but healing doesn't always come with a grand speech. Sometimes it comes with one small change, like saying no, like not setting out extra chairs, like letting the silence speak for itself. And when I think about Lily's question, do you think they'd like me more if I wasn't adopted? I still feel the weight of it, but I'm proud of her answer. I don't think I want them to like me anymore because that wasn't bitterness, that was clarity, that was her learning the most important lesson I could teach her, that love isn't supposed to hurt, that it doesn't ask you to earn your place, that it doesn't disappear when you make people uncomfortable by simply existing. So, if you're listening to this and you've been there, if you've ever had to choose between peace and pretending, it's okay to choose peace, it's okay to stop explaining. It's okay to stop hoping they'll change, and it's okay to protect your child, your heart, your peace, even if that means disappointing everyone else, because the truth is, love that asks you to shrink isn't love at all. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and if you've ever stood your ground for someone you love, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, sometimes silence is the loudest, most powerful truth you can